So Henry, are you ready to get down and dirty?
Look, I'm rooting for this to work.
Branch out and try something new?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
no, I think you should just leave me alone.
Ah!
Hi team, it's Henry here and I'm with Maleah. Today we're outside because we're going to be doing some gardening and making Kokedamas. Yeah, so Maleah, what do you like about plants?
Many things, Henry. Plants. These are some of the plants from my garden. These are mainly succulents. The cool thing about succulents is that a bit breaks off and they just grow again, which I think is a fantastic analogy for our mental health and taking care of ourselves, because even after damage, something can grow.
Oh.
So we need to make a bowl that has soil in it. We're using bonsai potting mix and also some peat moss, and that will be the main centre of the bowl. And then around that we'll have sphagnum moss, and then we'll wrap it all up in string. So I have mixed half bonsai potting mix and half peat moss and put them together and mixed them up and added some water so it should stick together and make a ball, which I've started to make a bowl.
So how do we get the plant in there once it's...
Oh, sometimes things fall apart. And you know what you do? You just squish it back together.
What do you usually get out of planting and creating plants or bringing them to life?
I think being able to do something tactile and just get out in the garden can be really helpful when you just need some me time. You just go do something. I think that's sometimes helpful rather than sitting and just thinking too much. But also I really love watching how plants grow, because you think they're really slow and then you forget about them for a couple of weeks and you come back and there's heaps of change and heaps of growth. So that's always fun.
How do you think people would describe you? How would you like people to describe you?
Silly, a childlike maybe wonder or sense of joy. Creative. I really like the ways that I'm creative. I have a lot of friends and family members who are very logical, and sometimes I feel like that's a bad thing that I'm not as logical or practical as them. But I think being creative and thinking outside the square is just as important. Can I ask you questions?
You can ask me whatever you like.
How would
I won't
you
answer anything. But
How would you like people to describe you?
when you describe someone, you like, people say Henry and then everyone's like, oh, that guy, yeah.
Do you find it hard to describe yourself?
I do not like talking about myself
Yeah,
at all.
yeah.
Which is kind of why I made this, because then
Yeah.
I would just ask other people questions
Yeah,
about themselves.
yeah. It's almost like when someone says, what are you grateful for when you're in a bad mood? And you just want to say, nothing! But like the practice of actually going, well, no, what am I grateful for? What do I really love about myself is such a good thing to do. But also the cool thing about succulents is that, so when one branch breaks off and you would think, oh no, it's damaged, but really it just starts again. It's like, okay, I've broken off, but the first thing they do is not grow another plant, it's grow roots. And I think that's so valuable that before starting, to grow themselves again, they reground themselves. I think stopping to notice maybe your thought patterns, so I guess being mindful, which is really hard in practice because you just get consumed in the bad situation. But I think stopping and going, actually, I'm not okay, and I'm thinking really negatively is just like a good first step to then having a more positive mindset.
What's next?
We need to put our plant in the soil.
What's one of the things you're most proud of, Maleah?
Oof. Actually, I would say probably finishing my master's. I'm really proud of that. It was hard. Uni in general was hard. What about you?
Maintaining a lot of the things that I have tried to do.
Yeah.
I always, whenever I see my friendship group, I always feel very proud to be a part of that.
Definitely.
I'm quite bad at not setting goals, or setting goals that aren't achievable or unmeasurable.
Yeah, that's funny because I would not have said that about you.
Oh, really?
I would say you have so many goals and they're awesome goals, but maybe that you've set them so high?
Yeah, perhaps, yeah.
Do you think it's hard, maybe that we are too hard on ourselves about what we are allowed to be proud of?
I think so, but at the same time, I don't want to be one of the people who don't. I don't like people who are, that's wrong.
Yeah.
I like people who are content, I was going to say.
Yeah.
I like
You like?
the kind of people who are always trying to get something new or trying to improve themselves somehow.
Yeah.
I just think they're more interesting. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm flawed and I get on with that.
No, I really relate to that. I think I hold myself to really high standards, which sometimes I don't let myself ever meet them, which is when it's not healthy. But I think that idea of being able to do more and improve is a good thing. You're right, it's like that drive. It's funny because I think if you wrote down a list of everything you've achieved in the last, say, 5 years, you would be astounded at the list. Like, it would be huge.
I've got a post-it note somewhere.
I think it's funny, like, I guess over COVID, I thought a lot about mental health because we had so much time to, right? It was actually good to stop and think. And one of the things I learned is that after achieving a goal, you need to stop and celebrate.
Yeah.
And
What do you do to celebrate?
I sing or dance. Because I think if we don't stop and do that, we feel like that idea that we're never reaching our goals. And I don't think that's healthy. I don't know. What would you do if you were going to stop and celebrate?
Let off a swear. I think it's doing something that's totally unproductive.
Yeah.
Because I'm still bad at picking hobbies that are...
What is unproductive, though?
I know, well, you know what I mean? Like playing a game or something like that. Or yeah.
It's funny though, because we don't necessarily say these things out loud, do we?
I don't know.
That like stopping and just enjoying yourself.
Yeah, I've always had in my head that I don't like video games because it's not like you're not achieving anything, you're not working towards anything when you play them. But I think I need to kind of change that mindset because they're one of the few things where I think you're not like you're looking after yourself or you're not.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that practice, and actually one of my aunties says this, that on her mirror she just has written, "You are enough." I think it's that stopping and just saying, you know what, I am enough right now. There's nothing I have to be doing because I'm just living and just taking care of myself. And do you think you feel like by organising something and helping others, you're like getting their approval?
Perhaps, I think, yeah.
And then you're enough because you've helped someone else?
Yeah, maybe it is that. I think it's more like, I don't know, there's safety in organising things, like I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But, yeah, maybe it is kind of approval things as well.
Yeah, I relate. You thought this was an interview of me.
I'm going to crop all that out.
No, don't! Can I tell you a fun fact about myself?
No.
Okay, so I firstly did a science degree after high school. Didn't know what I wanted to do, just that I loved science subjects and nature, as you can tell. But before I picked geography as my major, I was considering biology and being a bryophytologist. Could you have a guess what that is?
That's where you fight plants, isn't it?
No. Bryophyte. So a bryophyte is a moss.
Oh.
So if you're a bryophytologist, you study moss.
Right, I bet they're fun at parties, hey?
Well, moss can be completely dried out, just like this.
Wow.
You add water and they survive. Did you know that moss are one of the only species found in the most harshest environments around the whole world? So like in the coldest environments and in
Just
the
like
hottest.
humans, hey?
Well, I think they're even more resilient than humans. I'm trying to make an analogy here.
Hashtag of the series. Trying to make an analogy here.
You know what? Let's just have a go. Oh gosh.
What do you like people to do for you when you're having a difficult time?
Bring me a plant. I think just acknowledging that they can tell I'm not okay actually speaks volumes. I wear my heart on my sleeve, so if I'm not okay, yeah. Walked right into that.
Worth getting that tattoo.
That just for that. Yeah, I think acknowledging like, hey Maleah, you don't seem like you're doing okay. Do you want to chat? Or do you want a hug? But then obviously also I think I'm bad at maybe bottling it up if I'm not afraid to, sorry, I'm gonna say that again. I think I sometimes also bottle up my feelings and purposely don't show how I'm feeling if I don't want to open up to the people around me. So maybe if I'm not in a space where I trust someone, then I'm just like, I'm fine, I'm good, no, I'm fine. And maybe I'm trying to be resilient, but I have to let that go eventually. So I think even though we're all getting better at maybe talking about mental health as a subject, I think we still struggle to talk about our own mental health. Maybe. I think we can kind of third person it a bit, but actually saying when we're not okay, and then also being that receiving person of going, how can I help? And do you want me to listen? And maybe people are getting better at saying I'm not okay, but it's also then the friend or the family member going, I know exactly what to do for you. I think we're still working that part out. And that's okay. We can't always be the best person for someone. Sometimes we might not be in the right space to be able to help someone, but maybe figuring out how to help someone is what we need to talk about. Because everyone needs something different. Like I said, I need a hug, but that might not be what you want. That might be the last thing you want if you're not feeling okay.
If I'm not okay, weirdly sometimes I kind of like having space to deal with stuff.
That's not weird at all.
Well, you know, I think it's difficult to explain to people.
Yeah.
Feeling crap, whatever.
So I've just left a little bit of a gap. Can we make a hole for some roots? Stick your thumb in it maybe, but hold it together. So this is why they recommend doing it in a bowl. We didn't do that. You get to pick your plant.
Yay! What if I just pick some grass? How would you feel?
I would probably cry. And then we could discuss my mental health. I would definitely say this one would be a good choice as an aloe. Pretty resilient. They will go brown if they're not okay. But he's looking pretty healthy. More woody plant. This one will grow straight up. So this one's actually a really fun one. It's called either the pork and bean plant, which is more the British name for it. We don't really use that in Australia. I just call it the jelly bean plant. I wouldn't recommend that one for a hanging plant.
Right, so why did you bring it?
Because it's a jelly bean plant, and sometimes just because something's not good enough doesn't mean it's not worthy.
Oh, I'm trying to make an analogy here. Off me.
Simba. All right.
Okay, plants. All right, let's pick some plants.
Pick some plants. Nice. What am I gonna do? I could take the easy option and just go the aloe. You are my Padawan. You need to learn.
I had a Jedi strand in high school. Have I told you this?
A Jedi what?
You know, like the Jedi.
Oh, the strand. I heard someone talking about it. Do you feel like you change your hair at certain moments in your life?
Oh, that's a big question. I think I should, but I don't think I would. There were some terrible hair decisions there, but, you know.
But do you think maybe the idea in your subconscious was, I need a physical change because there's an internal change going on?
No, I don't think I ever did it intentionally.
Yeah.
It was just all trying to cut my own hair and... Look, Pat.
Okay, how are we feeling? Are we ready to wrap?
Yeah.
Wrap this up. So we have a few different types of string, lighter coloured string, darker coloured string, and then I think we should end with the pretty one. So, yeah. Did we get
You're gonna
scissors?
leave for that bit.
Did we get?
We did.
Get scissors? Oh! Do not do that at home. So we're just wrapping them in twine. You can wrap it like just crazy wherever you want, or you can make it a bit of a pattern. How do you like to get out of your comfort zone?
Sometimes I'll stand up really quickly from a chair, you know, and then you get that like, whoa. I like trying all kinds of new stuff, I guess.
Really? I wouldn't have guessed that. I think if we stay really safe and comfortable all the time, we lower our tolerance for difficult situations, because you're always going to face difficult things in life, right? Like, you can't stop that. When do we stop? I don't know.
What's next?
Pick up your Kokedama. Because succulents actually don't need much water. You can water these once a week.
How do you water them?
I'd get a mist bottle, like a Hey, we're not done. Pick it up. Ready?
No.
So you go to the right,
Go to the right.
and then you go to the left. While saying, Kokedama, 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 Kokedama. And you can even move your hips. Kokedama.
Yay. I feel like what I really want to do is try and juggle them, but I'm sure that's a really bad idea.
It's a great idea.
No.
That's okay. That will grow again. How are you feeling now? Be honest.
Good. What about you?
Good.
That's good.
What do I think makes people more resilient?
Mm.
I guess what you are grounded in. And if you're not grounded in anything, then any bad situation that comes along will just push you over and knock you out. So I think it's what you fall back on and draw your strength from. So I think community is a really big one. The people around you and what they give to you as well. Yeah, whether they bring out the best in you or whether they don't.
So do you want to talk us through which ones we've got?
This is a green one. This is also a green one. I don't know.
Okay, who wants to hear all my analogies?
Yeah, sure.
I'm happy to put soil on my face. I want to hear this naysaying Henry doesn't have soil on his face.
Do you want some too? Are you feeling left out?
I'm good, actually. I still think the other shot is better.
We'll do the other shot. Slightly awkward. Kokedama.
Kokedama.
Kokedama. It's like peel the avocado, squish the kokedama.
Feels kind of squishy.
So squishy I could die. That's a bird.
Wow.
I love birds.
Oh yeah. Like you're offering it to a god.
To the garden.
To the succulent god.
Any more questions? That's awesome. I think we've crafted some good health right here. Kokedama, Kokedama, yeah! Kokedama, 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 Kokedama,